What if your emotions weren't holding you back, but pointing you towards the you that's been waiting to rise? Underneath the old beliefs, emotional wounds, and people-pleasing, you know there's more. More joy, more peace, more of you ready to rise. It's time to step into and claim your penthouse potential. Welcome to Emotional Elevator with Sandee Byrd, your transformational coach, corporate wellness facilitator, and nervous system regulator. Let's rise.
Well, welcome everyone. I am Sandee Byrd. I'm a transformational and empowerment expert. And what makes me such an expert on transforming your life, my life, our lives together, and empowering? Why am I an expert and why do I coach in that field? Because I am, as I've stated a few times on my show. First let me say, I am Sandee Byrd. I'm the host here on Emotional Elevator on Inspired Choices Network. If you're watching or listening to me on any other platform right now, please come over to Inspired Choices Network and get in the chat room and we can have a dialogue during this conversation on silence. But now that you know I am Sandee Byrd with those two E's, that BYRD, the host here on Emotional Elevator, why am I a transformational and empowerment expert? Because I've done that for myself and I guide clients. I walk with them, whatever metaphor you want to use. If it's you're the captain of your cruise ship and you get to choose what excursions you want to go on, where your path is going to lead you, that's what I do. I'm your co-captain, just sitting there going, okay, tell me where you want to go. Or if we're driving the car, I'm the one sitting there in that driver's ed car with, of course, the brakes and the second steering wheel, but I am not even touching any of that. You are doing all the driving, you are doing all the stopping, you are telling me when to get out, when to get in, and where we are going. So that is what kind of coach I am. I work in many different aspects of coaching, not just empowering. I work with grief coaching, divorce coaching, substance use disorder coaching. I have a gamut of coaching and coaching tools and tricks to give you to guide your life in your empowerment or even if it's just trying to find your purpose. I'm also a wellness facilitator. What I do is I use Lego Serious Play and Laughter Yoga. I also use them in my coaching, but I use them in corporate wellness to help activate and introduce happy hormones and get everybody into that feel-good stage to increase productivity in the workplace. Why am I a nervous system regulator? Because there are many tools I give you when we are coaching will help you to regulate your nervous system, because you cannot transform your life or empower yourself unless you learn how to regulate your nervous system. And what I found out a lot recently with my clients and other clients is that not everyone can regulate their nervous system exactly the same. We are all different human beings on this earth going through our own human experience. And during that experience, we might have had traumas where certain breath work techniques do not work for us while others do. So it's finding the right tools and techniques that will work for you to guide you in your life when you are dealing with challenges or triggers, or just trying to unleash the trauma within your body. And once you do deep dive into those false beliefs, sense of security, and you start pivoting and embracing that part of you, what can you do to elevate your nervous system and get into that parasympathetic nervous system part? Sorry, I just stumbled on that. But let's get to tonight's show. It's the power of pause, finding strength in silence. Woo! I am just struggling tonight with the words, aren't I? When was the last time you allowed yourself to pause without guilt, without distractions, and without noise? In this episode of Emotional Elevator, I will explore the sacred role of silence and pause in our busy lives. Silence is not empty. It is full of answers. Pause is not wasted time. It is the space to breathe, to reset, and to reconnect with who we truly are. Together, we'll dive into ways of intentional stillness, Intentional stillness strengthens our nervous system, invites creativity, and gives us permission to hear whispers of our own soul. You'll discover how moments of pause can actually accelerate growth and how silence can be the most powerful form of communication you'll ever experience. Are you ready to step into the pause and rise higher in the emotional elevator of your life? So yes, that is the topic for tonight is all about power of pause and finding strength in silence. So how important is this? See, we are all doers and beers. And when we stay in that FOMO and doing and being, we are staying in fight, freeze, fawn phase. But when we can take a moment, pause, sit still, maybe silent, we get into the parasympathetic part of us, which is the rest and digest phase. And that's why this is so important. And I work with my clients on taking the moment to pause, be still, and find strength in the silence, because most of us are afraid of the silence. And why are we afraid of the silence? Because we're afraid what might come forward. But there is power in that, whatever comes forward. Maybe it's the vision of the next part of your life. Maybe it is part of that empowerment to take that moment to pause and be silent, because we don't do that enough. I know many people in many places of businesses or work, when someone major politically, or even on 9/11 in my state, because of some unfortunate school shootings, there is always that moment of silence, or that moment to express your gratitude for those that passed away, especially with 9/11. I always am places and someone is taking that, we would like to do a minute of silence for those that lost their lives in 9/11. But we don't do that for ourselves. Think about if you took the moment to celebrate yourself and take a moment of pause. Because when you take that moment of pause, you notice things around you that you might never have noticed before. And what I mean by taking a moment of pause is a lot, and this has been a big topic with a lot of my clients, is they want me to do more. They want me to do more, and I'm not ready to do more. I just want to take a moment. And what is wrong with taking a moment? What is wrong with taking a pause in your life and saying, you know what? I'm good where I'm at, and I just want a moment to breathe and embrace maybe the obstacles, maybe the challenges that you've overcome in your life by taking that pause. And what I mean by a pause, it can be anything from just every day taking a moment of pause and incorporating silence in that. How about taking 20 minutes just to pause, just to put your feet on the ground, breathe, and I'm going to pause. And one of the biggest things I taught myself many, many years ago, and I teach my clients all the time who work and have maybe stressful home lives, or have things going on at home where they need that moment of pause, to take it. Because how many times are you rushing to work in the morning, and what's weighing on you is, oh my gosh, like Johnny just told me I need to make 300 cookies by tomorrow, and how am I going to do this, and da 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 da. And instead of carrying it into work, you sit in the car and you go, that's on pause. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to pause before I walk into work. How many times do you leave a stressful day at work, heading home to your family, and you sit in the car for maybe a minute, maybe 5 minutes, and you just, I'm going to let my work day go and enjoy the moment with my family. I'm going to face the challenges from today tomorrow and just focus on my family. If we did a lot more of that, we would not be carrying our home life into our work life, and we wouldn't be carrying our work life into our home life, and we would have that balance within ourselves. Because those moments of pause are important. Have you ever just stopped at a stoplight? If it's one of the long ones, because I know some of them it feels like they're 2 minutes and some of them feel like they're 10 minutes, but take that moment, turn the radio down, and just, I'm just going to sit here and just breathe in this moment and then go. If we all took that moment of pause, I don't think we'd have that much road rage because we'd all be calming our parasympathetic system, which is that rest and digest, instead of always being anxious and in that fight, flight, freeze, fawn phase. Because that's where all of that rage comes from, is because we're not calming down our parasympathetic system. We're just staying with an unregulated nervous system that's like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. It's like that, the train, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. I know I can, I know I can, I know I can. We drill that in our heads for every day, not to say, you know what, I'm at the top and I'm just gonna look down for a moment and take this moment and celebrate myself and pause. Because in those moments of pause, it would be great if you could just celebrate yourself. Ask yourself in a moment of pause, what did I do great today? Even if it's just riding to work in the morning. Okay, so how am I going to show up today? I know I say this a lot on my shows about journaling and everything, but every day before I go into, whether it's a business meeting, whether it's just coming on here, coming on my show, I take a moment. How do I want to show up? Who do I want to be in this moment? And I take that moment just to pause. I might not get the answer right away, but at least it calms my system down to say, okay, so she wants a moment to rest and digest and get into the parasympathetic instead of coming on here. And like I do, I stumble sometimes on my words, and I'm okay with that. Whereas if I didn't know how to calm myself or take that pause, I might be like, oh my God, I need to just cut off my show because I stumble on my words or do this. But if I can take a moment to pause and say, you know what? I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes. And that is the biggest lessons that recently, even with my own clients, have been, is I need a moment to pause. And in this moment to pause, it's just about getting yourself grounded. You can, right now, if you're driving down the road and you're listening to me, because you're probably not watching me, and you're in your car, and it doesn't have to be right now, this second, but you roll up on my show and you're listening to me, and you're in your car, take that moment. Feel the floorboard on the bottom of your feet. If you got your foot on the gas, feel your foot on the gas. To turn down that music, because you don't have to necessarily completely stop to pause. Because another moment of pause that I like to take is walking meditation. And I think that is a form of pause because I'm not engaging with fight, flight, or anything. I'm taking a moment to look around, to do my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 things I see, 4 things I hear, 3 things I taste, smell, touch. That's either 3 or 2. And then what am I grateful for? And that's pausing and not listening to music to guide me or not listening to other things. That can be a moment of pause for you. And it's also a moment of silence because this part of pause, I'm going to dive right into silence after this. And there is science behind this. And I think that's why I keep mentioning science, because there is science, there is documented science out there and data that says when we pause and we're silent, we are smarter, more creative, more relaxed, more grounded individuals. And if everyone learned to take a moment to pause or to practice silence, we would be a world that's not as judgmental, as anxious, as volatile, because we would all be more in our parasympathetic, not the agitated nervous system that's, I need to fight, or I need to fly, or I need to freeze, or I need to fawn. So think about that. And we're going to go on this break. You are, of course, listening to me, Sandee Byrd, with 2 E's, BYRD. You can find on Emotional Elevator on the Inspired Choices Network. You can find me on all social media platforms as Sandee, SANDEE, BYRD. You can find me on my website, sandeebyrd.com. You can reach out to me, email Sandee at sandeebyrd.com. sandeebyrdcoach@gmail.com is another one of mine. And we're going to go to our break, but if you have anything you want to dive into, getting on a call with me, conversation calls are free. And if you go on my social media right now, you'll see I'm taking a pause. I'm taking a break from my social media. I used to go on every day, and right now I'm on pause. So let's get to that break.
Are you living a life of psychological trauma or suffering from an addiction? Are you ready to learn new techniques to elevate your emotions without sustaining or obtaining them from substances that are not good for your mind or body? Then continue to tune into Emotional Elevator with trauma, addiction, life, and spiritual coach, Sandee Byrd, where you will learn techniques to elevate your emotions that don't require a magic pill, food, or impulsive behavior. Listen to Emotional Elevator with Sandee Byrd, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Pacific, on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Emotional Elevator with Sandee Byrd. To participate in this program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to sandy@emotionalelevator.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back. I am Sandee Byrd. I am the host here on Emotional Elevator. And if you are enjoying my show, please give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Search Emotional Elevator. It would be very grateful to me, and this will help assist me in getting my information out to those that need it most, because a lot of people need to listen or hear about or want to choose to listen to pausing and silence and how it can help you within yourself. So the first part of my show, I was talking all about pausing, taking that moment to pause, When you take the moment of pause, you notice things you might have missed around you. If we allowed more pauses, we would not take our home life into work and work life to home. We would have more of work-life balance. In the moments of pause, celebrate yourself, because we always think about moments of pause, like I said, when it comes to victims of violence or someone who's passed away that's big in the political arena, or 9/11. They always say, let's take a moment of silence for those who have fallen. Why don't we take a moment of silence for ourselves? So the first part of the show, you've got to go back and listen to it, was all about the pause and how you might miss things if you don't take the pause, and how when you pause, you're giving your parasympathetic system a chance to rest and digest. When we're always in the FOMO, or when we're always working on our nervous system and we're not pausing, we're in the fight, freeze, fawn, flight. Covered them all, I want to say. But now I want to do something different. I want to talk about silence and how silence is so important, because when you take the moment of silence, you can invite in strength, invite in things that you might not normally hear by just speaking to your soul. So what I would like for you to do, if you are driving in your car, you can still do this. I want you to just kind of plant your feet on the ground, and then we're going to do a 3 breath cycle where we're going to breathe in a 4 count, hold for a 4 count, and exhale for an 8 count. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 minutes of silence. And I want you to embrace whatever comes forward. If it's like, if you just tune into me and you're wondering, oh my gosh, she must, something must be wrong with her connection. No, I want to invite you. And then I would love for you to either answer questions that might come up for you. If it's very uncomfortable, why was it very uncomfortable? If it's something that you want to, journal about it. But just doing 2 minutes, imagine what it would be like to do a 20-minute journal where you're just in silence, but you're journaling whatever comes forward, or doing a meditation for a half an hour. Because I put these practices in my day every day, and I teach my clients how to take these moments of silence. So we are going to begin before I run out of time on my show. So what I want you to do is, first, we'll just take a good deep breath in and sigh it out. And now we are going to take a 4 inhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for an 8 count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I know everybody out there, you got your shoulders up here and you're breathing, so just take them back and relax them. And now do the 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm just going to hold a moment of silence. And I want whatever comes forward to come forward. And we're just going to enjoy this silence together. was 1 minute. 1 minute of silence. Did anything come up for you? Did you do that every day, 3 times a day? Could you increase it to possibly 5 minutes? Invite yourself to do it. If you are out there listening to me and you've always thought about doing a silent retreat, my silent retreats, I do them more one-on-one than I do in a group. And what it is it's tapping into moments of silence and journaling, maybe even picking up Legos. I pick a location where you can go for a walk or to a beach, or it's near a beach, and you take moments of silence. And it's not for anything but the first part of a day, and you get to wear this little name badge that says I don't even know what I'm thinking of, but I am embracing silence right now. It's not what it says. I could have one. And you just take anywhere from 5, 7 hours of silence, and you're doing things you want to do, but you're doing it in silence. And things that tap into you, maybe it's just, I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. Maybe you'll journal for a couple of moments. Maybe you'll journal for an hour. Maybe you'll actually stretch. Then as the day goes on, there's a little bit of prompts. You get to eat your lunch in silence and actually enjoy a meal. I also have other retreats where it's a day of silence. The next moment you're eating a blindfolded dinner. And then the next day you're making something with your hand for you to take home that was tangible to remind you of being in silence, of embracing all the senses, taking the pause for yourself and embracing that part of it. Because there is so much strength in taking silence for yourself. We like to distract ourselves because sometimes we get afraid of what might come forward if we're in silence, if we pause, if we take a break. But what my clients recently have said, the best gifts that they've given themselves is to be able to silence themselves, is to be able to take pauses, to be able to step back and go, is this what I really want? Or is this what I've conditioned to want? And that's why working with me, I can say I'm an expert. Anything I ask you to do, any tools that I feel might work for you, if it doesn't work for you, I've tested them all. I regulate my nervous system every day. I practice moments of pause and silence. So I would not ask of you to do the things that I don't do for myself. And you will learn how strong you are in those moments of silence and in those moments of pause. And when you can start embracing your parasympathetic system and resting and digesting everything in your life, you start to let go and your shoulders start to release. And you let go of the fight, freeze, fawn, flight phase and the FOMO. And next week's show is going to be a powerful show. It's going to be all about boundaries in the body and how when we don't set healthy boundaries for ourselves, because that's what boundaries are, how it can affect the body, and how when you don't set those boundaries, how it does affect your body. So thank you again for joining me tonight. Take those moments of pause. I challenge you to do some silence. And of course, I am Sandee Byrd. Reach out to me if there's any comments, concerns about this show. Sandee, Sandee, Byrd, BYRD.com on all social media platforms. And like I said, right now I'm taking somewhat of a pause from social media. I practice what I preach. And thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Emotional Elevator Show. Sandee returns Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, start elevating your emotions and stop riding the emotional elevator that is stopping you from living the life you deserve.